So if I'm prepping for a nuclear weapons threat, I'm going out and buying potassium iodide, right? Actually, it's not going to help you much. So recently, after Putin's announcement of a partial mobilization, there's been a lot of anxiety about nuclear weapons attack. So hi, my name is DJ. I'm the rad guy. My job is to plan and prepare for nuclear emergencies. This can include nuclear plant emergencies, radiological dispersive device or dirty bomb, or even a nuclear detonation. For this video, I figured we'd talk about potassium iodide. I think a lot of people are going out there and buying up a bunch of potassium iodide thinking that they could take it in the event of a nuclear weapon. So I'm actually part of a national group of individuals who train and exercise for large-scale events just like this. And we bring up the conversation of potassium iodide all the time. Recently, I made a video about how potassium iodide works to protect your thyroid. And in this video, I talked about when it would be appropriate to take potassium iodide. One of the things I specifically mentioned is that for a nuclear weapon detonation, potassium iodide is really not a good way to protect you. And this comes up a lot in those trainings that I do with that national group. Potassium iodide is only designed to protect you from radioiodine. And as I mentioned in my previous video, radioiodine is only a handful of different radioactive isotopes out there out of hundreds of radioactive isotopes out there. And in emergencies, the only time when radioiodine is a big concern is during a nuclear plant accident. But for nuclear weapons, it really isn't. That's because in a nuclear power plant, the amount of radioiodine is allowed to add up over time. And in a nuclear weapon, that nuclear reaction happens very quickly, and there's not enough time to build up a lot of radioiodine. Not only is there not much radioiodine in a nuclear detonation, most of that radioiodine is blasted way up into the atmosphere. And only about 10 or 15% of it is actually going to make it down to the ground. Additionally, potassium iodide only protects you from the internal dose of radioiodine. You actually have to get it inside of you. The way that that happens is through breathing it in. In the case of a nuclear detonation, fallout is not very breathable at all. In fact, the size of fallout particles are about the size of a grain of salt, and you can't breathe in those large particle sizes. That's why the recommendations that we plan for during a nuclear detonation emergency is to get inside, and stay tuned.